I want to say something pretty carefully today. Not because I'm scared to say it, but because I actually mean it. I've made mistakes, real ones, and I own them. But something keeps showing up in our political culture. And I just don't want to stay quiet about it anymore. A lot of you know that I host a podcast called Local Leaders. And I sit down with elected officials, business leaders, community builders, people doing real things here in our community. And, you know, to be honest, leadership has become an obsession of mine over recent years. Every book that I can get my hands on, I'm going to read it. Every training available, I take it. Every leader willing to sit down and talk, I show up ready and ready to learn. I believe that we can get better when our leaders get better, and worse when they don't. You know, to me, two of the most important qualities that a leader can have, and this is my opinion, are character and integrity. Not charisma, not connections, not even competence. Character, integrity. Now, I'm not talking about people who make mistakes. Leaders make mistakes. I make mistakes. That's being human. My issue is different. My issue is with people who knowingly preach one thing and privately live another. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. And we see it at every level, don't we? Local elected officials who campaign on community trust and spend their time protecting their own position, not protecting the ones they were sent to serve. State legislators who vote one way in public and operate completely differently when no one's watching. National figures who make promises to their constituents and then disappear the moment it costs them something. Preach one way, live another. And somehow, we keep being surprised. Now, let's be honest. We live in a branding society. Everything today is image. Everything is perception. And perception is reality. And as someone whose work is in video and branding, a guy named Rory Vaden said it best. He said that your brand is the digitization of your reputation. And I love that because it means that your brand isn't what you post. It isn't what you say. It's who you actually are, but at scale. No camera, no content, no production value. None of that can save any leader. Any leader whose private character doesn't match what they're projecting publicly. You don't get to brand your way out of who you actually are. And here's what I've learned sitting across from leaders. Real character isn't what you do on stage. It isn't what you do in front of people. It's what you do when no one's watching. It's how you treat the person who can do absolutely nothing for you in your private life and your public life. Are they telling the same story? You see, performance is for an audience. Character is for a mirror. And a leader running on performance with no character underneath it is a liability to the people who trusted them. Full stop. Now, I say all of this because I've had to ask myself the same hard questions. So I'm not standing above this. I'm standing in it with you. And, here's what I believe. And maybe it's naive, but I want to say it anyway. If you're seeking a position of leadership, especially political leadership, you need the character that position demands. Real character, not a polished version of it. Leadership is a responsibility to the people you serve. This is called servant leadership. The values that built this community and this country are under pressure right now. And the people in Coweta County, across Georgia, across this country, they know it. They want leaders they can actually trust. Leaders whose private life backs up their public words. And leaders who are fighting, and I mean fighting, for the people they serve, not protecting their own seat. But here's where I land on this. I still believe in good leaders. I believe there are people in this community right now, at the local level, the state level, and the national level, who go into this for the right reasons. And they still operate this way. Who fight for the people they serve. Who protect them because they feel called to. And because they can't protect themselves. The ones who don't need a camera to do the right thing. And that's the leader this community deserves. And I refuse to stop believing that we can still have that. You know, I hold myself to the same standard that I'm calling out. I've made choices that cost me because I wasn't willing to compromise it. And I regret the times that I didn't hold that line. That still sits with me. Maybe that cost me going forward. Maybe it already has. But you know, I have a son who watches everything that I do and listens to everything I say. And I have a wife who expects me to lead our family with integrity, to be the man that she married. And that matters to me more than any opportunity can, more than any title. I have a line, and I'm not crossing it. Leadership is a privilege. Treat it like one. Lead by example, or don't lead at all.